everyone, Jacqueline here. I just wanted to make a video and share with you guys my home birth experience in our RV. I know I did a little bit of blogging about it, but sometimes you get more details in videos, so I wanted to share via video with you guys my story. So I did not tell a lot of people about my plans for my childbirth, honestly, because I didn't care about anyone's opinions, positive or negative. I know some people are going to think it's great and some people are going to think it's crazy. I just didn't really see the point of talking about it a lot until it happened. Plus, because you never know what's going to happen, birth can be very unpredictable. But I wanted to have a different type of childbirth experience with Sailor Ray. For a whole backstory of how I had Leia. I just wanted something different. I wanted to be more in control. I wanted to have a say over what happened to my daughter. I wanted to have a bond with her after birth. So many things I wanted to have. And it seemed evident that having a home birth with a midwife was the way to go for me. I know every woman desires something different for her childbirth, and there's no right or wrong, better or worse way. I personally believe that every woman should have the birth that she desires and the support and tools she needs to get it done. So I was very thankful to have found a midwife that accepted Medi-Cal, that worked with my family in our financial situation, and I was very thankful that I wasn't forced to have a birth somewhere that I didn't want to be. So let me get into my birth story. Let's see, on September 12th, I woke up around like 3:30, soaked, little TMI, soaked, but it wasn't as much as most women describe as when their water breaks, but I honestly didn't think it could be anything else. So we decided later that it was possibly like a high leak, but I had some kind of leak, and then it started coming out more and more throughout the day, and by the evening I was pretty much gushing. And my midwife came and checked me, and she verified that my water had indeed broke, even though it wasn't that big old gush that a lot of women experience. So that night I went to bed early, because I knew I would probably wake up in labor and not sleep ever again. Do you see the bags? So yeah, later that night, I woke up at, let's say, 12:30 a.m. on September 13th with contractions. They felt very different from Braxton Hicks. My Braxton Hicks felt really good. I got like the tight stomach, but a like super relaxing sensation, and the ones I was having were completely different. So I got up, I called my midwife, and she told me to call her again when they were like 40 seconds long, and I got off the phone and counted it, and then it was like 40 seconds. So then I called her back, and she decided to head out, and my husband started filling up the birthing tub. We covered everything. We covered the couch with a mattress pad and a sheet, and covered the floor. There was a pool blown up, and because we live in an RV, our water situation is a little different, especially for hot water, so it took hours for the pool to heat up to the temperature that we needed. But I wasn't gonna get into the pool until I really needed to, so it was fine. Like, I didn't end up using it until a couple hours later when my contractions became much stronger. So I would say the first few hours I just sat on the couch and listened to my Hypno Babies recordings on my headphones. That's it. I just sat there and would just work through each contraction with my breathing, and at one point I became extremely relaxed, and it kind of seemed like the contractions calmed down. I decided to take advantage of that, try to rest as much as I could, because I knew most likely my body was revving up for the stronger ones, and it was giving me a little bit of a break. So I took that break, and then later on I heard Leia, my older daughter, wake up in the back, and so I'd gotten up to go see what was going on with her. And then as soon as I had gotten up from that relaxed position, the contractions started coming stronger, faster, quicker, and I couldn't talk to them anymore. I didn't really have a hardcore cramping pain like some women say it's like cramps times 1,000. I felt my stomach tighten and squeeze really, really hard, but my pain felt more in my hips. I could literally feel my hips like separating, and pretty soon I felt like I would tell my midwife what I was feeling throughout the process to kind of let her gauge where I was at, because I had no idea how much further I had to go. And so I felt like Sailor's head really low and going deeper, so I felt pain there. I felt pain with the spreading and stuff like that. And then it was awesome because when the contractions would end, you know, I'd get a little break and feel fine, and then they'd come back and then I'd get a little break. So to me, the fact that we get breaks during labor, like even just small ones, to me is like really encouraging, because it's not like constant pain and uncomfortableness. Yeah, it seemed a lot better than last time. With Leia, right when I started having contractions, I was like, give me the epidural, like right away. I couldn't handle it right away. I thought I was at pain 10, but I was scared to death last pregnancy of childbirth and the entire process. This time I was wondering how much stronger it was gonna get, or because I seemed to be working through each contraction fine, a lot better than I had with Leia. So yeah, so they started getting stronger after I'd gotten up to check on Leia, and it was really fast. Like, my midwife said that I could probably get in the pool now, that they were coming close enough together and it wasn't too soon. So I got in the pool and tried a few different positions. I was like leaning back, kind of on my back with my legs out in front of me, and it seemed like there was too much pressure, like the baby was sitting on my back more. So then I got forward on my knees, like hanging over the pool, and just the contractions were super intense. Like my hips, I don't even know how to describe it. They were intense, okay? But I was making it, I was doing it, but still they were intense. My midwife would come behind me and squeeze my hips together during the contraction, which I don't know the physiology behind that or whatever, but it made me feel a lot better when she squeezed my hips together, and it helped with the hip pain a lot. So yeah, she did that, and then I got stuck in the position on my knees, hanging like over the tub, and all of a sudden I started feeling like pushing urges, and I thought, there's no way this is happening. Like, it was within 10 minutes of getting in the pool. I didn't expect it to happen so fast, so I kind of doubted myself and thought, there's no way it's time to push. So I told my midwife, like, I feel these urges to push, but is it too soon? And she just said, you know, don't help your body until you feel like, I forgot what she said, but it was kind of like until you can't control it anymore, just because we weren't checking me. Like, I had never been checked to see how dilated I was. She gave me the option, but then I kind of just like dismissed it because I was in the moment, and I didn't want to push too soon, because if I wasn't open enough, I could, you know, tear more or something. So I was just trying to listen to my body the best I could and take it slow. But that didn't happen. Like, within the next 2 minutes, the pushing urges became much stronger, and I just gave in. I just gave into the pushing, and when I gave into it, after the first one, it felt really good. Like, I felt a ton of relief afterwards, and then within 2 more pushes, like, I could feel the ring of fire, I could feel her crowning, and that was not a fun part. I'm not gonna lie, that was not a fun part. But it ended as soon as her head popped out. Like, it was cool to know myself what was happening just by listening to my body and knowing what other women had said when to expect what, like the ring of fire. I knew her head was coming, so when that popped out, it seemed like she just flew out the rest of the way, like just one more push, and I'm not even sure if I really pushed, but the rest of her body came out. And the way I was sitting on my knees, she could have come out behind me, but I had two midwives there. One of them underwater kind of pushed her forward so she would come up through my legs. So when that happened, they just told me, she's out, pick her up. And so like right away when they said that, I reached down, grabbed her, pulled her up to my chest, and I was relieved. I felt amazing that she was out. I felt amazing that the process was over, that I had given birth without any type of medication. I thought I was going to use a lot of essential oils, but I was just too in the moment to even think about what else to use. Technically, I was supposed to do a Hypno Babies recording while I was pushing. That didn't happen either. It just all happened so fast. So fast, my mom didn't even make it. Like, she was on her way, and I thought I still had a couple hours, but I was wrong. So yeah, she was out, and then I got out of the tub quickly just because I was paranoid that it was like the baby was kind of slippery and I didn't want to be in the water anymore. So I got out of the pool, and my midwives cleaned me up, checked for tearing. I did have a slight tear, but I didn't need to get stitches. It was small enough to where it would heal naturally, and I didn't bleed a lot, which was something I was worried about. My midwife said I barely bled, and my healing, the whole process has been much better. Last time, I felt like the doctor, instead of letting me push her out, like pulled Leia out of me as soon as she saw the head, and I bled really bad, and I bled for weeks, like a really long time. And now it's not like that. So I'm thankful. She was able to stay connected to her blood supply longer. We didn't cord clamp right away. We let her get all that goodness, all that iron, and then eventually they helped the placenta out, which was much different than the way my doctor had done it. My doctor had done like some painful massage when she did it with Leia, and it hurt. And then this time she just had me cough and like pulled it out. Like I don't know how to explain what she did, but it was smooth. I didn't feel any pain, and I just got to sit there right away. Sailor was super alert. She was like bobbing her head around and looking up and stuff, and her eyes were open. And I was really surprised because Leia wasn't like that. Sailor cried a lot more too. One of the things they worried about with Leia is that she didn't cry much at all when she was born, which sent a red flag to them. So Sailor was much more alert. And then like during the time when her cord was being clipped, I think was when she latched for the first time. So it took a little bit, it took a few minutes, because like Leia, it seemed like she grabbed on right away, but Sailor kind of took a little bit to kind of teach her what was going on. And then once she latched, she was good. So yeah, super excited that I was able to have these awesome moments with Sailor. And I really wasn't sure about using the tub. But I wanted it available in case I did need it. I really like that I ended up giving birth in it. It was much less mess too, and Sailor ended up being born in water. I mean, that's pretty ironic. So yeah, that's my story. If you guys have any questions about my experience or any specifics, feel free to post them below. And I will be updating my blog soon with more details, pictures, and a short video. Okay, talk to you guys later.